Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Drawn to Life. In the last part we started off World 3 with the Surf Beach, and now we're heading into Kori Jungle to hopefully find some Kori Tree page pieces. And honestly, this is probably the level I remember the least about. At least out of these four. Probably because until we get to the first drawing, more often than not, some of these levels kind of blend together in the worlds. Which I suppose is an issue. Again, I believe I brought this up before, but some of the levels could have done with some more unique aesthetics. But that's the attempt at doing those is found within the actual things you draw. At least I think that's what they're attempting to do there, so it kind of supposedly balances out, I guess? Anyway, let's see what the first drawing is, so I can remember which level this is. Alright, which one are you? Tiki Heads. Okay, it's this one. The Tiki Heads, I'm actually kind of proud of this particular sprite work as well, because I went for the whole rounded square thing, and I actually think I did the face pretty well on it. But the Tiki Heads are a rather interesting platform in that they jump between two particular locations. And I do mean jump, I don't mean like teleport, I mean they actually leap with you standing on top of them. However, something to actually keep in mind when it comes to when they jump is that their jump can hurt you if you stand beneath where they're going to land, so watch out for that. I probably could have done something different other than a white for the lighter portions, but given the limited color palette, I didn't really have much option. I also probably could have expanded the dark area a bit more, but eh. And if we jump on it, and I jump on, whoa, okay, and there it goes. Thankfully, they do move on their own for the most part, so that one will be back momentarily after I come down here to get a thing. Or two. I think there's like an extra life in one of the secret tokens down here. Admittedly, by the way, my favorite Bakis, without a doubt, are probably the swimming Bakis. Cause they're just so goddamn cute. Something the game probably could have done a bit more smoothly, and this is a very minor nitpick. They probably could have made the transition between the two songs in these stages a lot smoother, because it's almost like Rondo of Blood on the original TurboGrafx, where you can audibly hear the moment where they load the different song, instead of like a smooth transition between them. Bubba's Caretaker, huh, that name sounds familiar. Bubba's such a sweet old thing. I guess we know who our central Raposa is this time. Is it Raposa or Raposa? I think it's supposed to be Raposa. I know I'm asking that 13 parts in, damn near 75% of the way through the game, all things considered. But, yeah, that's a question. Also, minor thing I like, it's less apparent in the first world and second world, but here in the third world, the houses actually have a different design to accompany the actual seaside design, and I like that detail. There are times you can just outright skip the tikis like that, because you just pass by them. Although I just realized, technically speaking, I suppose they wanted you to make a tiki like the generic Hawaiian tiki, rather than what I basically made, which is more of a totem. If even, it's actually closer to a moai, if anything. Also, I love that anchor sprite, and that little totem sprite there. One of the most impressive attention to details in the Drawn to Life levels is actually little background objects like that, because those sprites have a lot of effort in them for something you don't really pay attention to, which is really nice. Alright, next drawing is a Riptide. This is more or less an underwater current. For this, I basically decided to go with some generic stuff like a actual current symbol, although it could also just be seen as a squiggly line. I think I drew a bubble, and I think for the third one I drew a tiny piece of seaweed being dragged along, which I actually think worked pretty well for what it did. The bubble is probably the most effective out of these, honestly. But overall, it's more or less you just doing another one of the drifts from the forest stages just underwater. Which is probably the laziest thing they did in the game, because they really are basically just giving you a version of the drift you can control yourself a little bit more during. Not lazy, that's the wrong word. Similar, I guess, is the word I'm actually looking for. Because it's more or less just a less powerful drift. Away! I kind of wish you got a bit more of a tell as to when the totems were going to jump. Because you obviously get some feedback when they land, but before that, they just kind of go, wee, my planet needs me. And that can be really annoying, because that may make you miss it by the last second because you hesitated for some reason. Yeah, mind you, these are all fairly minor nitpicks, too. If there's anything I don't like about the underwater areas, it's that the background is probably the most repetitive. Because it's just those couple of holes over and over again. Which, mind you, I've never been in a sea cave, so I don't know exactly how they look, but they probably could have used some variance down here. And mind you, again, that's a fairly minor nitpick, because when you're playing the game, you're actually focusing on your character and what's coming ahead or below you in terms of enemies or platforms. Either way, if I recall, we are coming up on our next Raposa. In fact, there he is. Gee, he looks familiar, don't he? Bubba. Ah, Rapo. If only my bro was here. He's back in the village? Well, what are we waiting for? Yeah, that's Tubba's brother. I actually like Bubba's design more because I like the red more than the generic fat character that Bubba is. Because even though I actually can't think if I don't think Tubba. I'm getting my brothers confused. Tubba is just the generic fat character, and Bubba is very much so, but I feel like they tried to do something slightly different, but at the same time they didn't. It's weird. Clearly, most of the character development in these games, and character in general really, went to Joey, Mari, and the mayor so far as we've seen, because they've not only had the most interactions, they also just seem to have the most interesting personalities. A lot of the other characters are just more or less one-note tropes, like you got your generic southern farmer, your die-hard detective with crickets, your shopkeep with Isaac, that's about all he really has. Heather, we don't know enough about yet, so I can't really say anything about her. Who else? Yeah, outright, we have an Elvis XP. Hey Arnold did that, of all things. At the same time, though, going back to level, this is around the time this level actually starts to get a bit more interesting, because now we're in a full-out temple aesthetic, and I like the background here a lot. And now we actually need to draw a statue to push around onto switches. Now, the totems were fairly close to Moai looking, and just outright, I'm referencing a picture of a Moai for the statue we need to make. Although this is probably one of the few times I outright restart a drawing because I'm not too happy with where it's going. I still don't think this is a good drawing, all things considered, but I'm actually fairly proud of some of the stuff I did with the outline here. Yeah, it's about it. These things, you can step on these first off. However, there's always one near a switch. It's never a case where, like in Boogerman in that one level, where you had to go out of your way to jump on some platforms to find the statue you needed to push onto the switch, or in front of the wind current in Boogerman's case. You never need to go out of your way for searching for these, which, again, possible missed opportunity there for some interesting platforming challenges, a puzzle on how to get a switch, a statue over to a switch, rather, but they never really do anything with it. Oh, damn it, now I need to wait. Duck into the music. Yeah, Drawn to Life is another game where you can just kind of have an action map to one of the buttons you don't really use much that you can do or duck or dance to the music to. And I do that all the time in stuff like Mega Man or Sonic. Either way, that previous totem that we walked past actually will not work. Same with that one. The reason being, you need to push the statue onto a switch in order to activate them. Otherwise, they just stand still and won't do anything. But we need to ride some of these because they lead us to various other statues to push, as well as just general progress. And if I recall, in one case, one of the secret tokens for the level? Maybe it's a tablet page. No, it's a tablet page. Page template, whatever. I've said the thing so many times. Fragment of the page, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to think, what is probably my favorite tropical-themed song in games? The one song from Banjo-Kazooie's in there, oh, what the hell's the name of the level? The one that had the giant hermit crab you could enter the shell of, and such like that. I love that song. The entirety of Chrono Cross's soundtrack, stuff like that. There's something always good about this music to me, and I can't exactly place it. Nice and catchy. Maybe it's the kind of happy tone it has. Generally, at least, because Chrono Cross got some depressing music in there. I'm trying to remember if the future levels use this temple aesthetic a bit. Because, if so, this is a step towards what I was talking about earlier. Unique aesthetics per level so that you could not only have some unique set pieces, but also have the levels stand out a bit on their own merits. Like the moon level in World 2 and such like that. And I think, like, some of the tile set shows up, but I can't remember exactly how often it does. Because that's a step in the right direction there. And a lot better than World 1. But... Also, I just now noticed how weirdly the ear cuts off on that thing. It doesn't look too good. Where is my totem? There is my totem. Away, totem! Take me to my planet! Whee! The thing that, now that I look at it, I love the seaside Bach in general, because they wear buckets on the head. That's adorable, too. And here's Bubba's other caretaker. Bubba ain't our son, but sometimes it feels like he is. Well, that's nice. Also, I love the clouds in the background here as well. I keep complimenting this game's graphical stuff, and then sometimes I critique it. I know, but this game really does look impressive sprite work-wise. Most of the time. I'm not gonna talk about the personal sprite work because that's on the player, but you know. And now we need to draw a little parachute. I actually forget to color something in on this. There's a little white area just to the left and right of the respective strings. Tethers, whatever they're called. And I forget to color that in. They probably would have been a orange knowing this. And I actually ran into a problem with the limited color palette here. Because I don't really have a way to shade purple that well. I could use the dark blue for the darkest area, yeah, but I had to use brown because I didn't really have anything else to shade a mid-shade purple. Which, you know, that kind of sucks. Makes me wonder, because there are fan projects about Drawn to Life, how they're going to handle the color palette stuff. I'll talk more about those either in this game's credits or the sequel's credits. Either way, now we have about 2 minutes of falling down with this parachute. It's an auto-scroller. There's nothing really, I think, major to get along the way. I'm talking like, I don't think there's any secret tokens, because I think we have all 3 of them. There's just a lot of coins and maybe a couple of extra lives, which is debatably worth it. You can jump with the parachute by pressing the jump button to give yourself a little boost in case you missed a path ever so slightly. But it has good enough cooldown to the point where you can't spam it to levitate. Oh, it's not 2 minutes long. That is shorter than I remember it being. But there is a temple page down here too, so make sure you grab that. Otherwise, you might think you're somewhere you shouldn't be and might go all the way to the left or to the right and be scared. Either way, this is the end of the Kori Jungle. Not a very interesting level, though it's still better than most, if not all, of World 1's levels, really. Also, here we have something that admittedly does get tedious as we go on, as you probably noticed. Watching the gate close every single time gets a bit tiresome by the time you reach the 3rd level, although I love the 3rd level clear dance. That's just nice looking and adorable. And I believe we're also getting pretty good on Raposa. Yeah, we're pretty good looking. And that's also, I believe, another 100 Rapo-Coins for us, because we did do everything as usual. Ah, money. So let's get back to the world with Bubba and everyone, and get those Kori trees to the mayor. God, they really are brothers. Bubba. Bro, you're okay.
Yeah, I hooked up with Bartleby a while ago.
Phrasing? Jeez.
Mom and Dad wanted to do some whale watching. We got stuck. How about you?
Was off looking for Kori fruit, and I met these 2 Rapos. They've been looking after me. Is the mayor still around?
Yeah, he is. You should go see him.
Alright, I'll see you around, bro. Alright.
You found my bro. You're really something, Bartleby. How was the Kori Jungle?
Saw an ancient Baki temple, Tiki brain teasers galore. Weren't really teasing my brain, but okay.
I was never any good at brain teasers. Better go check in with the mayor.
Indeed we shall. I don't think I jump cut this either, so we have a minor 20-second walk. Oh no. If even. How y'all doing, all? Bubba, you're back! Yeah, the village is looking better than ever. Did you see Tubba yet? Yeah, I met him at the World Gate. And Bartleby, you found the Kori tree page? Let me place it back in the Book of Life. Bubba, why don't you show these Raposa around? I don't know why I'm making Bubba Bostonian, but he is now. I'll meet you at the hidden beach. Then we can have the creator draw the tree for us. Alright, so let's head on back to the beach, I guess. And we have to draw probably one of the more interesting things we have to draw, because in a way similar to the Banya thing we had to draw earlier, this is probably one of the more creative things you can draw, because they give you no indication of what this should look like. Banya I always imagined as wheat, whereas like the world map indicates it more as corn. Ah, Bartleby, you're here. Now the creator can draw and plant some Kori trees to fill the beach. Now for Kori trees, I made the tree kind of Dr. Seuss looking, but the fruit itself I kind of made a kind of weird mix between a mango and I guess a coconut with that shape. Yeah, circular, more cylindrical. Well, most trees are cylindrical, Kyle. Weirdly shaped and enthusiastic trunk, weird shaped, foliage? I actually don't know what the top of a tree is called besides obviously calling it a treetop. Added the usual colors I have for the greenery this time around. And now similarly to the Banya plant, we actually get to place 3 of them on our own. You have to place them more towards the right though. You can't place them at all on the left because, well, that's where cutscenes happen. So let's just place them about so. If I could place it there. There we go. Move that one there, nice even triangle, there we go. What do you think, Mayor? The creator did a great job. I spoke with Tubba and he asked for a Rapo house to share with his brother. I sent him to a house west of here, but it's covered in darkness. Perhaps the creator can clear the darkness from it? Bubba should be nearby. Go and have a speak with him. Alright, but with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 14, we'll not only be talking with Bubba and Tubba to get their house cleared on, but we'll likely be finding our next excuse to head into the 3rd level of World 3. See you guys then.